Hey there gamers, this is Frags and today I am going to be giving you guys a first impression of an indie title called Halcyon 6 Starbase Commander. I believe that's what it's pronounced, Halcyon, and maybe it's Halcyon, I'm not exactly sure, but I'll call it Halcyon. Yep. This game is quite an interesting genre benders, and I know I've been covering quite a bit of genre benders these days. Genre benders basically means that it's a term to describe a game that is like a mix of different genres merged together to make a really unique sort of gaming experience. And Halcyon 6 is not a really it's a game with a huge budget. It obviously has a sort of 8-bit, or rather 8 and 16-bit, somewhere in between sort of look to it, which is quite charming, but it may not be for everyone. Some people might think that it's a little rough around the edge, but I'm okay with it as long as the system is solid. It's a pretty easy game to pick up and play. It's not super complicated. So well, before I get too far ahead, you might be wondering just what the hell is Halcyon 6? Okay, Halcyon 6 is, think of JRPG games, right? But just the tactical turn-based battles, like the old day Final Fantasy battles, right? Turn-based active time battles, or whatever you call them, whichever system they use where it was just turn-based with initiatives and stuff. Those things mix with a sort of I should say a XCOM 2. XCOM 2's base management, or building up your base, because I will show you guys why I say it's closer to XCOM 2 than XCOM, and it has character leveling, and basically you get more officers when you assign them to different parts of your ship, or they can fly ships into battle. So let me just load up my game here, my latest save, and let's continue on here. And let me show you guys what Halcyon 6 is all about. This is Halcyon 6. As you can see, the map is pretty old school, and I wouldn't say old school, but 16-bit. Okay, let's just put it 16-bit. I might be mixing my bits with that, but let's just go with 16-bit here. So basically the story pits you as the last surviving human cluster. The Terran space, the Terran has basically ran back into this single starbase here called the Halcyon 6 station. It's actually an ancient alien starbase which the humans have taken over for nearly 5 years ago, but there's a lot of areas that need to be reclaimed back. Now this is why I say that it's closer to XCOM 2, because in XCOM 2, which is a game that I've been playing quite recently, PS4 version just came out. In XCOM 2, you basically fly around the, I don't know, what is it, Sky Ranger? It's not a Sky Ranger, but I forgot what's it called, but it's this alien ship, and each level of the alien ship is like there's rubble and stuff you need to explore and clear that space before you can build anything on it. It's similar to that actually, so because this is after all an alien station. And so before I get too further ahead, basically that's the story. So you've moved here and you've got to start all over from the beginning here and build up your crew and stuff. I've got 2 crew here. This is the space, and around this space here you can see that little clusters here, the circles here, are basically other empires, right? You have the Zla Yantu Union. The pirates over here have a few of them actually, Wraithers, Shriekers and Cropses. They are not friends with each other, okay? And the Khorzan Consensus, I believe or was it the Zla Yantu Union? I think these guys are friendly, or is it Khorzan? I'm not exactly sure. The pirates are really close to us and they tend to attack us. And the other thing as well is that the humans, what they've done, they did some sort of experiment which opened a portal which allowed some interdimensional space monsters to enter into this sector of space, and some other factions in this universe here, or galaxy, is blaming you for basically genetically engineering these space monsters. So this space monsters here, if I click on this, guys, you can see here the Cruel. The Cruel are the sort of I think the end game monsters. Really, they get spawned from this sections here. The Cruel North portal. These portals here have opened up. I think there's a few of them. What is this actually? Oh, this is a Starbase approach. There's only one portal here, the Cruel portal, and there's like Cruels here, and there's quite a few of them. 3. There's a nice art style to it as well. I quite like the art style. And of course, the Cruel are not your only enemy, because as I said, the pirates keep attacking us. And you can see little exclamation marks, right? So obviously these are quests. If I see over here, missions. They don't call it quests, they call it missions. These are all the missions around here. Different colonies and stuff. There are a lot of colonies and they request aid. And if you go to help them, they might give you some supplies. Up here, let me just close this up. Up here you can see the different supplies. I have drones. I don't have drones because I need the buildings and the research to build them. And crew basically man the station, right? The crew are used when it comes to building ships, because ships needs crew. And materials are used for a lot of buildings and I believe research as well. And dark matter is used for repairs and a lot of research as well. And fuel. Okay, the fuel is used for traveling between stars. Let me just show you. Before that, I have 2 offices, right? Let me show you the leveling up. I've leveled up. So this is basically the crew quarters, right? I don't know what's it actually called, but basically here's where you get to upgrade them. So I have 1 skill point here which I can spend to improve my spin maneuvers. There's a lot of special skills here which I will explain during battle. So I can pick a new skill: bend, space-time, single ally, quicken, and quicken. So I guess they get higher initiative, so they can take more. They do more things at once. Okay, but this is a single enemy, invasive surgery, but irradiate, emergency meds, warp atomic, weapon disruptions, damage 120%. Looks like the damage increases at level 2 of that skill actually. Emergency med, single ally, heal 350%. Invasive surgery. Yep, I will take the spin maneuvers. Yep, select this power. Okay, let's pick her. Sarah Ripley. Really nice reference to a classic sci-fi character. Sarah Ripley, she will go with cloak. Yep, I like cloak, so let's go with cloak. So as you can see here, let me just show you the base here. This is your Halcyon 6 base, and a lot of the places here you can't really explore because I mean you can explore, but you need to clear them out first before you can build anything. I got 2 slots here to build, but I'm not going to. As you can see here, it takes material and a bit of power as well. This power use, so you need to build an fuel plant. No, sorry, a generator actually, a deuterium reactor. Yeah, this gives you 20 plus power per day. Let me go back. I'm just right clicking to go back. So there's a deuterium reactor over here. Ship construction, and I am clearing out this place over here under construction. Actually, I'm building an officers academy, so once I've built officers academy, I can basically recruit new officers. Just really quickly, actually I'm not going to explore anything now because I'm busy building this thing out. I just want to quickly show you guys the tech research here, which is a pretty small tree, which gives you an idea of the scale and scope of the game actually. But there is no like time it takes to research or anything like that. You basically click on it like this. Which one? I haven't researched yet. Cadet barracks? Yep. barracks. I always call it just barracks. Barracks, cadet barracks. It takes 400 of these materials and 400 dark matter. So obviously I don't have enough of this, so I need to get supplies, a lot more materials to be able to research. Basically the research, it's limited to how much of resources or supplies that you have, and once you basically research, you get it immediately. There's no time it takes to research or anything like that. So you know, I can actually research a lot of things in the beginning itself. Like I have basically unlocked a lot of ship, but each ships need an officer, so I only have 2 officers here, so there's no point in building an extra ship. But once I have my officers academy or officer academy, I can unlock additional officers, so I can also get new ships. The officers do more than just fly the ships though, because they also go out and explore the Halcyon 6 station. So let me show you a little bit of how a game of Halcyon 6 goes. So there's a bunch of missions here, right? I want to expand the fleet, but this is something I'm doing currently. Villa's Wraithers. I'm not going to touch on the pirates. I don't feel like going against them. But before that, just really quickly, you can see the little icons here, right? These are all sectors where I have a hold on. So you can actually evacuate sectors, right? So once you evacuate a sector, you get a bit of a supply bump, just a little bit, and you get more crew at your station. Or if you decide to keep them there, they can actually keep mining for you. So you get like +5 materials from these materials mined here. And these are like updated daily. There's a real-time clock here. It accelerated time, so it's currently paused. It's always paused unless you move your ship around, or you can manually just play the thing to sort of move on forward. So there's actually a mission here. What mission is this? The Janssen sector. Okay, what is happening in the Janssen sector here? Oh, they are requesting aid. Okay, let's do that. You know, let's do that. So I'm going to click here and I'm going to send a fleet. And this is basically the 2 ships that I have. This is the only fleet I have. I think there's a maximum of 4 ships, if I'm not mistaken. You only get, sorry, 4 ships. I mean 3 ships. There's a maximum of 3 ships that you can have in a fleet. Maybe it can be more. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I think it's 3. So you pick a ship that you've built and then sort of assign officers to them, and you send them out to basically that mission. So you can see here it says that if I want to do this mission, it will take me 14 fuel to reach that destination. Sending them home don't take up fuel, so it's a way of the game to balance, to not make it incredibly hard and fuel to be a super difficult resource. I mean, super important resource. It is an important resource, but the game sort of gives you a bit of a little helpful nudge towards making it a bit more approachable and not so hard ass on its difficulty there. So let's launch. There's an auto forward time thing there, so your ships are not fully repaired, but it's no, you know what, it's not damaged terribly, so let's launch them anyway. So he's going here. That cruel ship is going, it looks like the cruel ship is going there. As you can see, when when the ship is moving in real time, you can see that little plus signs appear here. Basically the supplies are being added every day. That's I don't know what in real time that is. It's super fast. So Commander, the Officer Academy is now online. So let's show, let's see them. So I get to select a new officer here, so that's cool, right? I can reroll. The officers have their own little traits and stuff, but here's the thing about Halcyon 6 is that I feel like it's not properly documented. It's not really, I'm not 100% sure what the traits do actually, because they don't really, how should I put it, they don't make the numbers transparent enough in terms of the trades. I think battles and stuff could be a bit better communicated, certain like elements in the game, but that I'll show you guys that in a short while. So now I get to select an officer, so let's pick I have a science. I don't think I have engineering, right? This is tactics. I have tactical and science, so let's pick an engineer because I don't have engineering officer. So let's pick this person. And as a commander, there's no voiceovers or anything here, so you've got to just talk it over. Commander, thank you for this opportunity. You won't be disappointed, sir. Alright, so train officer. Improving learning habits and improve officer education. I got to train an officer. Officers. Okay, confirm task. If I confirm, but do I really need that? No. I don't need that. What is this task here? Task available. I don't want to train my officer, it's alright. Now what I can do is I can build a ship. So I go to, what is it, ship construction here. So I just got an engineer. So engineering here, it shows you the two ships that you can use, a warden and a knight. There's a good selection of different ships, a different class of ships for the different officers. But after a while, I think it is limited, right? It is an indie game with a small budget, so it's not as huge as certain space games actually. But I think the game gives a nice mix of different types of units, just not like crazy amount of it. So I have the warder or the knight. The knight is not good at evading. The warder is good at evading, but 800 hull. Aim 100, damage 39 to what is it, 72, 42 to 75. This does more damage. Even the powers are different, right? Disintegrating hull, exploits crew panic, inflicts vulnerable, disable countermeasures, and repair drone single ally. The other one, knight, has a shock mine, ship disable, deconstruct, hull breach, and engines down. Okay, this one seems really offensive versus this one, which is a bit more, well, helpful I guess. But let's go for the more offensive one, the knight. It's going to cost me 400 dark matter and 60 crew points, which I just have enough dark matter. So let's construct that ship. Let's construct it. And I think it takes 3 days. Yeah, that's not immediate. So actually, where was I? Have I reached my destination? No, I haven't. Okay, so I've reached that destination. Commander, Lucas Beaumont's fleet made contact with a colony at Janssen. Patching you through now. Sir, it's great to hear from you. We were under the impression that the entire Federation Navy was destroyed, and that those alien things would track us down sooner rather than later. We have a fully stocked and functional colony here, Commander. Consider it at your disposal. We're not going to lie, most of us would prefer to be evacuated to that station of yours, but if you need us here, we can pull in any Federation refugees we encounter from that area. So, if I transfer the crews, crew population 75, I can transfer 28 of them to the fleet, or I can view facility. Current resources 28 crew. Okay, what is the? Okay, so this guy is basically a colony +2 crew. Okay, so if I don't take these people give me +2 crews basically. So it's okay. I'm not going to evacuate them. Okay, this cruise ship seems to be going to my home base. Oh no, it's not. Objective complete. Expand the fleet. Okay, this is one of the beginning missions. I finished all of this, so yeah, build a ship. Third officer. Blah blah blah. Perfect. Let's continue. Okay, what's happening here? Ghost Head colony under attack. Ghost Head. Yep. Under attack. What ships are here? 3 of them. Okay, this might be a bit difficult, but you know what? You should go back. Yep. Go back. The new Knight class starship is now ready for active duty. All it needs now is a commanding officer which you may assign from the ship management module. Okay. So I'm going to send her in there. I can rename ship, but I'm not going to do that. Okay. So now I am going to wait for my ship to go back. Alright. And now I am going to send them to... There is a time limit to a lot of these missions if your system gets attacked. So they give you ample time actually. 28 days is a long time. Okay, so now let's send a fleet here. Wait, I have to add this ship here and that's it. Perfect. That's going to take 3 fuel, but it's not a problem. Yeah, let's launch. That's not huge amount of health loss. Okay, so this is the tactical battle. So if this seems familiar to you Final Fantasy fans, this is pretty much classic Final Fantasy here. But maybe not exactly like a Final Fantasy game. The thing here is that you can see a lot of the weapons here. There is exploit and inflict, right? So the key to battle here is that there are certain weapons or abilities that inflicts a certain status effect on the enemy, right? There is a percentage, of course, so it's a dice roll thing of as always with this sort of JRPG tactics sort of battle. So, and certain other special abilities here, as you can see, it exploits a certain status effect. So if you have a status effect that let's say for instance this is senses offline, if you have another status ability from another ship which exploits senses offline, you would do extra bonus damage. So for instance now I am going to use senses offline. This basically will base hit 97, senses offline. Actually this is supposed to... This is supposed to reduce the base hit 97%. Okay, reduce the chance of them targeting us and getting a hit. Alright, hull breach there. So hull breach is a status effect. All the status effect, all 3, 2, 1. All the status effects are listed below here, right? So you know what their status effect is. This space monster here has senses offline. So now I have one ability here called harass. But is that the one? Yeah, harass actually can make damage from 69 to 199, base hit 109%. It exploits senses offline. So if I do this to this young aberrant here, crew, I'll take a lot of damage. Okay, but these cruise ships are pretty large in health actually. Okay, so crew panic, ship disabled. Let's disable the young aberrant here. I think very okay, so the thing is also, this ship here resisted my special ability. They do have resistance, so right clicking and finding out what their vulnerabilities are and resistances are would make battle go much smoother for you. So you don't want to waste your special ability if the enemy is resistant to it. So in that case, the dice roll didn't go my way. Now I am going to use this. They don't have any status effect. Weapon disruption, hull breach, crew panic. Hull breach, right? Which one is vulnerable to hull breaches? Vulnerable to hull breaches. Vulnerable to hull breach. So you should use hull breach on the young aberrant. Okay, so we panicked. Okay, evaded that. Hull breach, which one? I have hull breach. I don't have hull breach here, but I can go cloak. So let's go cloak. Alright. Oh, got hit there. Quite bad. Hull bridge. Yeah, let's hit hull bridge on this. Hull breached. Okay, so which one uses hull breach? Exploits hull breach. I can't use this. Exploits hull breach. Okay, portal cannon. Let's use this on this. Yep, hull breach exploited. That wasn't a very powerful move though. Which one exploits? I don't have a hull breach. Weapon disruption. Okay, let's use weapon disruption on this. Disrupted. Okay, so exploits weapon disruption. Yep. Evaded. Damn it. Oh, there's no status effect. The engine's down. Hull breach. Yeah, let's fire engines down. Oh, no. I have to... Oh, crap. Alright, so I am basically taking a lot. 57 only. Sensors offline, yep. Engines down. Weapons disrupted, great. Now I need to cauterize hull. That basically healed. Right, I'm not doing too well here. Engines down. Can't do much actually. Let's make sabotaged. Okay. Now you should try to take I am going to heal this ship. Oh, critical condition there. Not doing too good. Okay, I am going to use this on this ship. Mike. 70 only. Okay, great. Exploits crew panic. Inflicts hull breach. Inflicts hull breach. Sure. This exploits hull breach. Okay. Let's see which one. Inflicts engine down. Inflicts sabotage. Inflicts and no. I shouldn't cloak actually. Cloak doesn't really help much. Let's harass. You should upload virus so that has the no status effect there. Great. Engines down. Harass. Hopefully this one takes them out. Yes. So it's done. Battle won, and I got a couple of rewards here. I've gained structural engineering. Okay, I know how to make this ship stronger. Space combat health plus 5%. Alright. So Ghost Head fuel refinery here. I can transfer two fuel to fleet. Evacuate. I'm just going to transfer the 2 fuel. Yep. So let's leave the system. So now you should return home. So once the ships have returned home, I can go to, no, not ship construction, ship management here. I can repair ship. This one is going to use 150, which is a whopping amount here. This one is going to take 82, which I don't have. So yeah, I need to get a bit of dark matter. You see, it doesn't tell exactly how much dark matter I get in total, which I find to be quite frustrating, right? Because I need to find out. This is a Starbase here, fleet command here. Yeah, this fleet command basically tells you about your fleet. Officers Academy. Dark matter, the Terran starship hangar where I can build new ships. Tech research, no. Okay, let's look at building. So here, over here, I can click on this thing here to build. I can actually increase dark matter multiplier. This is dark matter, so this basically improves dark matter. It takes 250 resources to build this to gain more dark matter. So it says here, increases the amount of dark matter gained from missions by 15%. Yeah, you can only gain dark matter from missions, I think. Is that true? You see, it doesn't even tell me that how much I get per day. That's something they can improve actually. So there's a bunch of other missions as well, which you can do. But actually, let me try to do one thing here. Let's go to my Starbase here. Let's try exploring something here. So I can add an officer. An officer has to explore, so let's put her there. Yeah, confirm task. Hopefully I can show you guys some ground battle. Okay, there's a Commander. The cruel fleet that are harassing our remnant facilities have been detected emerging from interdimensional portals in and around Federation space. Now that we have a full fleet, we should investigate these portals in an attempt to shut them down. The longer we wait, the more cruel will pour out of them. Show locations. Yep. This is the portal that now that's my objective. Okay, this here is a pirate fleet. So the thing about Halcyon 6 is that it's not just space combat that has the JRPG vibe. There's also ground combat. You will be able to warp down into certain planets, and those planets might have like hostile alien species which you need to beat them down, basically kill them. And basically you have a crew of 3, your main character as well as 2 the regular dudes basically from your crew. And it basically happens pretty much like the space battle, except in ground. And it is a totally different set of abilities as well. So the ground and the space combat abilities are quite different actually. But yeah, the game is about inflicting certain status effect and the other special abilities that exploit those status effects. So the game is actually quite cool, right? Because there's no other game quite like it, like blending the JRPG tactics with the XCOM 2 style base management and a bit of leveling of your officers. But the problem with the game right now is that it has a pretty unique premise to it, but I feel like a lot of the mechanics in the system are a little bit basic. They are a bit underdeveloped for me. I wish that there was a bit more depth to battle, because currently the battles are pretty straightforward, and even the main base management, there's nothing to it really. It's not like XCOM actually, because XCOM and XCOM 2 actually has quite a deep tactical gameplay, which has a lot of specific situations which force you to take a risk or play it safe. In this game it doesn't have that. You just go from planet to planet and fight basically. So I think that Halcyon 6 has a lot of it has a lot of promise. It's not an early access game. It's out now, available on Steam. I think it's RM 38 ringgit. And I'd like to actually see where the developers take this game forward actually, because if this is the extent of the game, like, it's really difficult for me to recommend this game, because it tends to get a little repetitive even in the early stages. Right now I'm starting to feel a little bit bored with the game, because yeah, I know these mechanics, and yes, there are certain things the game doesn't explain that well, so that basically add up to the entire feeling that this game is just such a shallow game. You know, the tactics, there's not much to the tactics. The base management, there's not much to base management. Sure, it's cool to add these things together, but it's not holding on to me. It's not capturing my interest as much as I wanted to. So Halcyon 6 as it is, I would say wait for a couple of updates and patches and see what the developers can do to sort of update it. It's not a pretty expensive game. If you guys want to buy it and try it out, by all means go ahead and buy it out. It's a fully functioning game. It's a lot better than a lot of other AAA games which come out broken and stuff. But I actually was expecting this to be a bit more interesting and a little bit disappointed, but still I'm not giving up on this, guys. I think the game still shows a bit of promise. Perhaps I will wait for the patches and I'll come back to this game in the future. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will be doing a couple of more first impressions in the following weeks, as well as some new videos coming soon, I hope, which I hope you will really enjoy. Tell me what you think about this video. Tell me what you think about the content that I have on the channel. Your feedback really matters to me. So yeah, please do share. If you've played this game, tell me what you think about Halcyon 6, or is there any other game that's similar to this that you'd recommend that I have a look at, because you know I really like these sort of interesting, unique indie space titles. Not necessarily space titles, but unique indie games. Yeah, sure, I love this type of games. So thanks for watching. As always, this is Frags. Have a fragtastic day. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.